Good evening, London. My name's Hina, and I'm coming to you from the Master Shah Tao Center here in London. And I'm just briefly going to speak about our Wednesday Transformation evenings. Tonight, it's going to be led by David Lush, who is one of the leading teachers here at the center. And the topic is going to be how to transform grief and sadness. Now, many of us, especially after COVID and actually during COVID, a lot of people were lonely, stuck at home. A lot of the studies are still coming out to see the full effect of what COVID did to basically really people all over the globe, because there wasn't one country that wasn't affected and had their own rules, more legislation, and really separation of communities, of householders, of families if you lived abroad. So humanity really did go under kind of a collective grief and sadness. And the ironic thing is that COVID primarily affected the lungs, which in traditional Chinese medicine is connected to the unbalanced emotion of grief and sadness. So just by looking at what's happening globally, we here at the center here, we do kind of get a temperature of what is really truly affecting humanity at this time, and how can we help alleviate that suffering. So if you come tonight, you will go through some practices, some wisdom, some really blessings to help release that unbalanced emotion of grief and sadness. And you may think, I don't have any grief, I'm not sad, I'm a really happy-go-lucky person. But if you think back in your life, have you been sad? Have you experienced grief? How long did you stay in that emotion? How long did it take for you to get over it or transform that emotion? All of us have experienced grief and sadness in some aspect of our life, in some level, some a little bit more severe than others. The truth is that if you have experienced this emotion, it is much better to transform it immediately instead of letting it sit there and grow bigger and bigger in our subconscious, and on a superficial level feel that you've gotten over it. So a lot of the practices that you will learn today are effective, they're safe, they're transformative, and you will get an experiential feeling of that release of those blockages. And even if it's something that if you want to focus on that happened years and years and years ago, and you want to finally release it, then tonight is the night for you. Now, you may ask yourself, well, I had this and this happen to me 10 years ago, or my parent passed away, or I'm really grieving that relationship that ended, or that fantastic job I had. Whatever it is, that if you think about that situation and you have that little sadness in your heart, then you know this is an area in my life, in my experience, that needs transformation. So please do come tonight. It is a complimentary evening. Every Wednesday at the Master Shah Tao Center is completely complimentary. If you can't come today, then I urge you to get this book, because this book, written by Dr. and Master Jigong Shah, has the practices and also a QR code and animation, has the wisdom and the techniques to help heal that unbalanced emotion. And it also includes not just grief and sadness, but also anger, worry, and any other unbalanced emotion or a health condition. So I urge you at the very least, please get this book and check it out yourself. So I welcome you with an open heart to please come tonight on the Wednesday Transformation evenings. And even if maybe you want to work on another unbalanced emotion like anger, worry, fear, anxiety, depression, stress, anything else that you know in your life that's a little bit unbalanced and you just want freedom from it, join us anyway, because a lot of the blessings, the teachings, the wisdoms, the techniques, you can adapt it to what you need. And just the very last thing I will urge all the viewers here to do is, if you know someone in your life that is undergoing that challenge of grief or sadness, please forward this video, forward the information of the Master Sha Tao Center, or even the books, because these practices really do work. And the only way to really experience if they do work is to try it for yourself. As Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha says, if you want to know if a pear is sweet, taste it. So I welcome you with an open heart and soul. Please join us. Thank you and goodbye.